Hi everyone, welcome to Therap Provider Administration Options and Preferences. This training is a great place to get started if you are an administrator of Therap at your agency and are looking to get things set up. This video is also a great refresher class for experienced users. Let's get started. The first thing we will discuss in this training is two-factor authentication. If you have two-factor authentication enabled for your agency's account and you are a super admin, you are able to enable and disable two-factor authentication for users. To do this, you will go to your admin tab on your dashboard and you will see two-factor authentication to the right of user. You'll simply click on two-factor authentication where you'll be brought to a user list and you can select whether to force or disable two-factor authentication for a user. When two-factor authentication is forced for a user, the system will require the user to enter in a one-time password generated by an app or sent to their email with every login.
Next, we will discuss provider preferences. Users with the Provider Setup administrative role will see Provider Preferences in the Admin tab on their dashboard. This is an area you can come to set agency-wide preferences. Here is what you will see within Provider Preferences. The first section you will see is Session Timeout. With Session Timeout, you can select how long the user can remain idle in the system without being logged out. You can pick anywhere between 15 and 60 minutes. Next is the Provider Logo section. The Logo section allows you to upload a company logo that will appear in the top left header of PDFs that you print or save from Therap. You will need to click Add and select the logo that you would like to attach. You will then select the size that you would like the logo to appear. In the Calendar Preference section, you will be selecting the preferred starting date of the week. This will be reflected in the Therap calendar. Now we are in the T-Log settings. T-Log without an individual can be used to communicate information on a program rather than an individual. This is good for maintenance issues and communicating program needs such as supplies. Enable time in and time out is something that some agencies require staff to fill out with every T-Log. If this is something you need, then you can set that preference here. In GER preferences, the first option you will see is Hide Witness section. If you do not want staff to see the option to select a witness in the GER, then you can select to hide the witness section here. If you are using the Behavior module, you can choose to link BER from Restraint Related to Behavior Emergency Safety Intervention Event. You can also set certain requirements on who should be notified for certain events. You will be able to select the entities to whom the notification should be sent to for high, medium, and abuse, neglect, exploitation GERs. If you are a user in Utah, in the GER State Interfacing Preference, this section allows you to set a state provider ID, which will be referenced on the Utah Incident Reporting System from the Utah DSPD Incident Report form in the GER. TMS preferences pertain to our training management system. If you are using that module, you can decide if you would like staff to be able to sign themselves up for scheduled training sessions and/or cancel their own signups. If you don't want to allow them to do this, you will need to select No, and the supervisor would be responsible for signing up or canceling signups. The billing preference allows you to be notified a set number of days before a service authorization expires and when there is only a certain percentage of units left for you to bill for. The IB service authorization preference section allows you to select the number of days before which you would want to be notified if individual budget service authorizations are about to expire. In the PDF preferences, many of our modules we offer the option display PDF. Here you can select what you would like to have at the top of each page on the PDF. CDS preference pertains to an outside entity called College of Direct Supports. If you are using the service for online trainings and are also using Therap's Training Management System module, you have an option to enable a bridge between TMS and CDS. If you are using the ISP plan module, you can enable the option to link ISP programs with the valued outcomes. For personal finance, you can set a limit for maximum number of days for adding, updating a transaction, and a maximum limit for account activation date. If you are using the letter module, you can add a whole letterhead or footer image in provider preferences. You would simply click on Add and find and upload the file from your computer. The billing restriction feature allows administrators to select the number of days for which users will be able to enter billable ISP or billable case notes, and update or delete ISP data or case notes after the data collection date or service date. Two-factor authentication is an optional security feature that provides an extra layer of security by requiring users to use a one-time password each time they log in. If you select the email-based one-time password option, users will have the option to receive the one-time password by email rather than an authenticator app. Once you have filled out all of the provider preferences that you would like, you will click on Save. Next, we will discuss activity tracking. The activity tracking application allows users with the activity tracking administrative role to see who has been using the system, when they were using it, and for what purposes. To view the activity tracking option, you will go to your Admin tab, you will find Activity Tracking, and you will click on View. Once you've clicked on View, you will be brought to an activity tracking search page with quite a few search parameters. You do not have to fill out every single field on this search page. The only thing that is required is the date range. But you could search by program, you could search by the user. If you knew the user's login name, you could type in the login name. You can search by the site name, and again, you could just search for the date range. You could search by module, so if you just wanted to see certain modules, you could select the module here. Once you've selected a module, you will then be able to select an action as well. You could search by activity type. You can also search by the form ID and individual form ID. The form ID will be the form ID that is on any form submitted in the system, whether that is a T-log, GER, medication history form, what have you. They will all have a form ID attached to them. The individual form ID will come from the individual's demographic form. If you just wanted to run a blank search to see what users are doing in the system, you would just need to fill out the date range. So I will do a date range and then just show you a blank search to see what the information will pull. So you'll see here, once I've run the search, I can see the activity time. I can see the user's login name. I can also view the IP address. So if you notice that there is an IP address that doesn't look familiar, you can go to that user and just make sure that they're documenting from the correct location. You'll see the server name. You'll be able to see the module, the action, the activity type. If there was a form ID or individual form ID, you would see it listed here as well. You could see the program site. The comments will give you more detail, and you'll also see the time zone. So you can go through these options and see what the users are doing in the system. If you wanted to have this list exported to Excel, you can scroll down to the bottom and click on Export to Excel, where it will download an Excel spreadsheet with this information listed.
Now we will discuss sign-up agreements. Sign-up agreements allow users to sign off on and to agree to policies or statements before they log into the system. You can see here what a sign-up agreement will look like for users. So you'll see the policy or the statement that the user needs to sign off on, and then you'll see the option to agree or disagree. If you click on disagree, you will be logged out of the system. Users with the provider setup administrative role are able to create, edit, activate, deactivate, and delete sign-up agreements and view the list of users who have signed the agreements. To create a sign-up agreement, you will go to your Admin tab on your dashboard, find Sign-up Agreement, and select New. You will be brought to a page where you will enter the title of the sign-up agreement, the details or what the staff will need to sign off on, and then you will select the type. You can select first-time login, which will only require the user to sign off on the sign-up agreement one time, or you can select every login so that they will need to sign off on this every time they log in. Once you've entered these 3 fields, you will select Save. To view the list of signed users on a sign-up agreement, you will find Sign-up Agreement on your Admin tab. You will select List, and then you will select the sign-up agreement that you would like to see the users list of signed users. From here, you will be brought to a page where you do have the option to change the type from every login to first-time login or from first-time login to every login. And you'll also see the option to show signed users. This will populate a list for you to see, the list of users who have signed off on this agreement, and you can also export this to a PDF or export this to Excel. Splash messages are like a virtual bulletin board in Therap that will be seen agency-wide. Users see these messages after logging into the system and before they are able to access the dashboard. Agencies use splash messages to communicate important agency-wide notices, and Therap uses them to publish information such as downtime notices. Users with the provider setup role will be able to create splash messages. To create splash messages, you will go to your Admin tab on your dashboard and you will find the option for Splash Message and you will select Create. You will be brought to a page where you can type in the message to appear on your splash message, and you can also personalize and change the font. You also have an option to insert images. After you have typed in your message or added any necessary images, you will choose an expiration date. After these fields have been entered in, you will select Save. Now we will discuss ISP program scoring methods. A scoring method is the option that staff have to select when documenting on tasks in an ISP program. Here is an example of a scoring method. We have the option to choose from Yes, No, or NA. Users assigned with the scoring method administrative role can create new scoring methods for their agency. To create a scoring method, you will go to your Admin tab on your dashboard, scroll down to the Care section, and find the option for ISP Program Scoring Method and New. You will name the scoring method, and then you will select the number of scoring method levels. So how many different options do you need? You will then select Add. From here, you will see that you have additional fields populate where you can enter in the caption for each scoring method and the label acronym. You'll also see the option to select non-reportable. If you select non-reportable, the score that the user selects will not affect the reports for the ISP data. So if you had a non-applicable, not applicable option and you had that label acronym, you wouldn't want not applicable answers to affect those reports, so you would select non-reportable. Once you have everything filled out, you will click on Save. The scoring method that you created will show up on the ISP program scoring method list on your dashboard, or it will show up on the scoring method list whenever you are selecting a scoring method when creating an ISP program. As an administrator, you may see the option on your admin tab for age configuration. When an age configuration is activated, its age groups will be reflected in the age group section of the demographic report, as well as in business intelligence. To create age configuration, you will click on New to the right of age configuration, and you will be brought to a page where you will enter in the age configuration name. You will select the reference month. In business intelligence, age will be calculated from an individual's birth date to the last day of the reference month selected for that active age configuration. Once you've selected the reference month, you will then type in your age groups. You'll type in the minimum and maximum. So you can see here how I typed in my age groups. Once everything has been entered in, you would click on Save. Moving on to the demographic report. If you are an administrator with the admin report administrative role, you will have access to the demographic report. This report will be found on the Agency Reports tab of your dashboard. To access the demographic report, you will go to your Agency Reports tab, find Demographic Report, and select View. This will bring you to a page where you can select the programs that you would like to see the demographic report on. You can select up to 5 programs here, or if you would like to see the demographic report on the entire agency, you should not select any programs. Simply scroll down to the bottom and click on Generate Report. Once the demographic report has been generated, you will find a report of demographic information that is pulled from the individual IDF. You may also notice that some sections show not reported. This means that there are some individuals that do not have this information reported on their IDF. To view the list of individuals, you will simply click on the row and it will populate a list of individuals for you. You can then export this list to Excel if needed. You also have the option to export each section of the demographic report to Excel. To do this, you will find the Excel option in the corner of each section and click on the Excel option. From there, you will have that section exported to Excel and downloaded to your computer. You may also want to export the entire report to PDF. To do this, you will scroll down to the bottom of the report and click on Export to PDF. This will download a PDF to your computer. If you have the Super Admin Administrative role or the Report Library Module role, you may notice the option for Report Library on your Agency Reports tab. The Report Library is a collection of agency-wide Excel-based reports that are available in the system. You may access this section and search for Excel-based reports that are not available in modules or in your dashboard. To view the report library, you will go to your Agency Reports tab, find the Report Library option, and select View. On the List of Reports page, you will find a list of reports that are currently enabled for your agency. You may also filter the list by report name or report description. It's also a good idea if you're searching for reports for a certain module, just to type the module name into the report name. You may notice some offline reports that will be generated and sent to you via SCOM within 24 hours. If this is not an offline report, you will be able to generate the report instantly. To generate a report, you will select the report that you would like to generate. And if this is an online report, it will generate instantly. Once you have generated the report, you will be brought to a page that displays the report. If this is a larger report, it will only display the first 50 rows. You will need to export to Excel to see the entire report and to add filters or make any changes to the report that you need. Now we will discuss individual homepage. Individual homepage is a great tool that allows users to find a wide range of person-centered information all within the same area. To have access to the individual homepage, the user will need to have the individual homepage role in their super role. To view the individual homepage, you will select the Individual Homepage tab, which will bring you to a page that will either list out your recently accessed individuals, or it will give you a list of all of the individuals that you have access to in the system. You can go through this list and select the individual that you need to view, or if you're not seeing the individual, you can always type their name into the name field and select their name from there. When you are on the individual homepage, you will notice to the left of the page you have the option to view the modules. You can enter in a form directly from this page, or you can search for a form within that module. You also have a go-to section, which will show you different sections of the individual data form or demographic form. And you'll see the option to view any PDFs that you have configured within the system. You'll see a section for the ISP programs, which will list out all of the individual's ISP programs and give you the option to select new for ISP data. You'll see the service authorizations on the individual homepage. You'll also see a section for counts, which will show you anything that would show up on the to-do tab. You have a section for overdue for immunizations, and you have a section for upcoming. On the profile tab, you will see the identification data. You can expand this and show the data itself. You have a section for team members, active contacts. You'll see the allergy profile and the diagnoses list and the medication list. On the plans tab, you will see any of the individual's plans. And then you have the tab for case status, which will show provider enrollments, case status, and program enrollments. If you would like your agency to utilize the individual homepage, but you don't want all of those options to show on the individual homepage, you do have the option to select certain items to show on the individual homepage for your agency. To do this, you will go to your admin tab on your dashboard, find individual homepage, and click on select items. You'll be brought to a page where you can select exactly what you would like your agency's users to see when they're on the individual homepage. Once that has been completed, you will select Save.
As always with our Training Academy courses, after you've taken this course, you can reference it at any time or rewatch sections as needed. If you didn't pass the quiz the first time around, we're not going to penalize you for retaking the course. We want you to get this right. Thanks for watching.